is all in accordance with the Uniform Chart of Accounts, which is also posted on our website. And then there's an annual revenue report that's required per statute that kind of shows overall what their revenues that they've received for a fiscal year, as well as compared to just their operating fund, as well as some selected special revenue funds. And then that's reported by overall totals, as well as by revenue by student numbers. So you can see overall what they're spending by student. And then there's a link on this page that takes you to that our website that has all of that information.
Thank you. I do appreciate in the Alaska Reads Act, there's also some additional reporting that will be coming from the department that will help us drill down even more within the schools. I just want to do another plug for the department's website, which has just a wealth of information for folks who are really curious about where funding is going in our schools. I think we often hear assumptions or conjecture or statements made in public that you can easily, around how schools are funded, and you can easily find that information on the department website.
Thank you for that. And now Deputy Commissioner Sanders will just briefly talk about our COVID funding dashboard.
All right, again, for the record, my name is Lacey Sanders, Deputy Commissioner. Today we just wanted to touch at a very high level on the federal COVID-19 funding that was awarded to Alaska. As some of you may be aware, funding to support excuse me, K through 12 education was provided to all states through 3 acts. We had the first act, Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or the CARES Act, was signed into law on March 27th, 2020. The Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriation Act, or CRSA, was signed into law on December 27th, 2020. And the third act, and the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA, was signed into law on March 11th, 2021. The state of Alaska has received over $616 million for education. Funding was allocated based on federal guidance to school districts, to the department, to the Office of the Governor, and to non-public schools. Per federal guidance, 90% or more was allocated or reserved for school districts. And to address and track and manage all of the federal COVID relief funding that the department was receiving, we first developed on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see our COVID relief funding resources page. So all of the guidance, all of the plans that were submitted by school districts, and more information, there's a lot of information out there, we tried to organize it in a fashion that provided resources to those that work in the school districts, resources for families and the public's interest, and then we created the federal COVID funding dashboard, which is a snapshot on the right-hand screen. This website is intended to be a drill down. So as you can see, I mentioned just a moment ago, funding was awarded to school districts, to the department, to the Office of the Governor, and to non-public schools. As you select each one of those, it brings you down to the next level. You can drill all the way down to all 54 school districts and how their funding has been, how the school